Hi guys, welcome to round 7 of Daytona Milton Keynes' Super Jumps. Now we're on the rolling up here with starting 11th, and this was a bit of a difficult race actually, to be honest, so you'll see why in a few minutes. It's going to end early because I forgot to clear the SD card, so it's going to be quite a short video this. But we're rolling up to the line, 11th place, and we all start. It's a sort of semi-wet dry track, very greasy. We brake here and then we take a big hit from behind and we go into the side of Andy Fryer. Luckily both of us keep it pointing in the right direction, and we have actually gone up a couple of places there by virtue of having the inside line. Now I did a practice session before this race, which seemed to go pretty well actually. I was within 4/10. I was second fastest driver. I was within 4/10 of a guy called Lee Whitney, who's very, very fast, and he is dominating the heavyweight championship at the moment. So on a wet dry track I was pretty pleased with that. Now to get straight out of that cart and to get straight into this one, cart 111, all of a sudden seemed to be well off the pace, and I don't like to blame the carts. I think if you turn up and sort of blame your tools and blame your equipment, it's really going to stop you from trying to assess what you have done well and what you haven't done so well. So it's not in your best interest to blame anything other than yourself and looking at your own performance. Having said that, however, it is clear that we are losing time on the straights, and actually next round 8, we end up with the same cart 111, and it seemed to be a very similar issue there as well. So we're just going to try and make the best of it, and see what goes on ahead. Now have a look at the two guys in front of the driver in front of us. So they're going to come around this corner, and this made me laugh a little bit actually. You see that they're side by side here as we check over. The guy on the left pushes the guy on the right into the barrier. The guy on the right retaliates and pushes him straight into the tyres on the other side. So we go up a place there. Marshall stood right there, but I think they seem to get away with it. And we are up a place. So we're doing the cliff drop, just going through here. I really like the cliff drop actually. I've never done it in the dry, to be honest, so I don't know what it's like in the dry, but yeah, it's good fun. Now here we do get a really good exit, and I think this is what I'm saying about trying to evaluate your own performance. Most of the time we don't get a good exit. The guy in front of us, Andy Fryer, is a heavyweight. We're a lightweight, so we would expect, if we do get a good exit, to sort of be making some headway on him, and we don't really. And you can see here that certainly in the exit of corners, that's where we seem to be losing out. Again, I need to assess whether that's something I'm doing. But we are quite good on the brakes actually, as you can see here, sort of making up quite a lot of room, and we're going to have to use this if we're going to make any headway at all. So we're going to go up the inside of Andy Fryer here. He's going to have the better exit, so he cuts back at us, but we have the right-hander coming up, which gives us the track position, and we are through. So we've gone up a couple of places. You can see just by that little bit of fighting, the cart ahead of us now, which is Garrett Berry, has gapped us by quite a considerable margin. Now just going around here, what's going to become apparent is we over the next couple of races, or the next couple of corners, we don't have great exit speed, and what is also become apparent, however, going back to the point about making sure that you just look very clearly at what you're doing well and what you need to be improving on, is that exit down there at the bottom. Really, really important, that bottom hairpin, because you're not really taking your foot off the accelerator for quite a long time before that, or after it I should say. And this corner here as well, I'm definitely taking a slightly too shallow line, and what I feel that I'm doing is probably turning in a little bit too soon, and in certain parts of the track that probably works quite well. Certain parts of the track, certain shapes of corners lend themselves well to taking an early exit and grabbing the initiative on the way in, making the track as short as possible on the way in, so that you basically you benefit from doing that by having more time, or losing less time I should say, on the way in. to compromise your exit. But at other parts of the track, namely the final corner and any corner that you're going to be going on to, which has a very long straight afterwards, I think a late apex is going to be really, really important. And that's again something that I didn't necessarily pick up on soon enough. And you see here early apex, and it ruins the exit, particularly as it is so slippery down there. Daytona, Milton Keynes, when it's rained, you tend to see that a lot of the water remains down at that hairpin because there's a slight dip down there, a slight hill. So if you are going to find any water anywhere, it will be down there. And you also find turn 1 round here is pretty slippery. Now, braking is something that I've been working really hard on. I understand, or I've understood that to be one of the most important aspects of getting a quick lap time. So we're sort of trying to make the best of it. But what I would say with regard to this car is I wasn't very confident on the brakes actually. Overall, it seemed to be very, very easy to lock the rears, and in these kind of conditions, that's really kind of detrimental to confidence, if you like, as we're turning up to lap the first of the Sodis. Now, that's a big problem, because it means obviously you're unlikely to want to brake as hard as you possibly can. And actually, sorry, just to go back to our previous point again, not a great exit there, and it takes us much longer to get past that Sodi than ideally we should have. Just going into this corner again. The other thing that I was going to say about the kart was that it tends not to be, or this one at the moment now anyway, it didn't have great rear grip. And this is my first sort of full season as a Super Champs driver, and it's very much a learning season. It's very much a time when I wanted to just get a feel for the circuits and the other drivers, and see how competitive I was going to be. So what I'm beginning to learn now is that I like the rear to be very stable, and that's certainly something that's developed throughout the course of this season. And that's why the Super Champs is great. It's because you really have to, you're up against the best, and when you are up against the best, you are forced to forensically look at your own performances. And I'm hating watching this here because, oh God, look at that. It's terrible exit. So I don't really know how I have a cheek to blame the kart, but it will become apparent next time, or next round, we actually get the same kart, and the same thing happened. Typically, so I've just lost out to a heavyweight on the straight there, but again, it's my own issue, as that heavyweight laps a Sodi back marker, or the NT34s now, or something like that they're called. Like I was saying, I mean, typically I've been near enough pretty good lap times. There's been a few times, well, one time when I had the fastest lap, and a few times, particularly in the wet, when I've got within a couple of tenths or so of the fastest lap time. But today, and actually the next time when I drive kart 111, I was about 2 seconds off the fastest lap time. So I don't know whether it's my driving style not suiting this kart or this engine layout or anything like that, but for whatever reason I just don't seem to get on with it. So fingers crossed in the final round I'll get lucky and I'll get a different kart. But you can see here how frustrated this guy is, because he made the mistake that I made last time. Wrong entry into this very, very important hairpin, and now we're coming up against another couple of back markers here, and this is where the race really starts to unravel. So you can see here, it's one of these horrible moments. Do I, don't I? I'm sort of up the inside, and I nudge him. There was definite contact there. I apologise, and you see that over time. And then I get the next corner wrong as well, and we're actually going to lose a place as a result of all of that. There we go. There is the place lost. I actually got a black flag for that move, and I have to be honest, I was pretty frustrated because I just didn't feel that, given the other contact that is that's been made in this race so far and regularly throughout the season, I didn't feel that a black flag was necessarily proportional to that. The guys at Daytona, they're really good, and they listened to what I had to say, and we had a sensible conversation about it afterwards. But I accept it. We have to move on. But tell me in the comments if you think that that's definitely a black flag. If you think that I need to change what I'm doing with my driving. For me, as I've got Callum O'Donnell, who just drives past us. He's another lightweight. He doesn't normally do that, I have to be honest. Again, it's probably both the kart and also me not getting that line right into the final corner there, as we make our way a couple more Sodi back markers. Now, like I was saying, I would have braked harder if I'd had a bit more confidence in the rear and the brakes, but of course, doing that risks locking up and then me taking both myself and the poor back marker that it's not really a back marker, actually, it was a Sodi cut, so taking us both out of the race into a fast part of the corner. So I went on the curb. I don't blame the other driver in any way for this, so apologies for him for nudging him wide, but it was certainly accidental. It's just one of those sort of 50-50 moments, do I, don't I, and by the time I'd made the decision, it was a bit too late, and I went on the curb, but unfortunately I couldn't stop him. Couldn't stop nudging him at the time. But like I say, as Callum O'Donnell goes off the track there, and we've got someone else going off the track, in these sorts of conditions, it's just a bit of accidental contact, and I felt that a black flag was a bit overzealous. But like I said, let me know if you think that's not the case. So there's not very much more of this recording left, to be honest. I'm just going to shut up now and let you watch the sort of final lap I have of freedom. We're going to end up going in the pits to do our penalty the next time round, and then shortly after that the recording's going to stop. But I hope you enjoyed it. There's me. I didn't do anything wrong. Of course I did do something wrong, but whether or not you think it's a black flag is up to you. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again for round 8.
Was turn 1,
yeah. Mr. Andrew 5 more seconds for his pit lane speed.
Yeah, that's cool. Obviously it was turn 1. You might have seen what's happened, but the call made against you was a side by side and just kind of forced him out wide. All right.
What am I supposed to do if it's side by side?
Well, you kind of have to give it a space. Obviously, racing, if you're next to someone, racing isn't pushing them onto the curb. Racing is giving adequate space. Obviously, you don't just want to push people off, do you? It's a non-contact sport. Yeah. And obviously you just can't be pushing people off. It's not bumper cars, it's obviously a non-contact sport, and you have to respect people, else that's how people get hurt. Turn 1's our fastest car on the circuit. If you hit someone off, and especially in D-Max, then that's it. So yeah,
Okay.
Alright, we've gone red now, so just stay here and